Thanks for joining us again on Shaky Sports Journeys. Please be subscribing for free on the YouTube channel, as well as you can get it on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. Going to do a preview today for the big game tomorrow night between Scotland and England at Wembley. And I brought a specialist guest, somebody who's played at the highest level as a striker for Celtic, and also was at a big major tournament with Scotland when they attended France '98. Welcome again to the show, Simon Donnelly. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. All good. Yeah, sun is shining. Looking forward to the game tomorrow.
It certainly is. Last time we chatted, I think it was a bit duller in this section of the house, but it's nice to see the sun. So a nice wee chat today, and then you can get out onto that golf course and hit them well, mate. So let's talk about Monday first and foremost. We won't go into too much depth. You don't want to dwell on the past. But what did you think were let's get the negatives out of the way. What were the negatives in Scotland's performance on Monday?
Obviously the result, basically. But I think for me, we were a wee bit tentative with the team selection. I think I'd expressed before, I thought the guy Patterson has shown enough at Rangers. I know he's young, but he's in the squad. He's there on merit. I thought we could possibly have went with him, and I thought there'd have been a place for Billy Gilmour as well. Again, little cameo roles in the first two games. He did really well. Just looks to me as a guy that's been there for 10 years, comfortable in the ball, and I think he is going to be a big player for Scotland in the future. But I'd like to see him playing just now.
Mate, I echo that. I was excited to see this wonder kid. He's clearly very capable. Plays at Chelsea, just experienced winning the Champions League. So his age is his age, but he's clearly a very talented individual. What surprised me was that he didn't even come on as a sub. I thought it would be a good idea to give him a taster of playing in the tournament, and then you can go into the England games. So there was a couple of surprises. I would like to see Patterson playing as well. He's had a great season with Rangers. But what are the positives you took from the game?
Positives. Not too many, because obviously we're at home at Hampden in the first game of the Euros. We've been away for so long. Everybody was optimistic, and to get nothing from the game. We had chances, and their two goals. I mean, the second is a wonder goal. We get caught, pushing for the equaliser. We just hit the bar, and a fantastic header for the first goal as well. But I don't take too many positives from it. I think we need to bounce back. This game's massive tomorrow night now. I would take anything out of the game. I would take a point. It's going to be a difficult game. Obviously, we want to go and try and win the game, but I would take a point, and it would set us up for another game at Hampden against Croatia, where we could hopefully go and win that and qualify for the knockout stages.
You get me hopeful, Sid, and as a Scottish
We're
fans,
all hopeful.
as Scottish fans tend to experience it's the hope that kills us. But listen, I'm thinking the same. A draw tomorrow night, we'd absolutely take that, and then you'd hope they'd learn from the Czech game at Hampden and go out and be a bit more clinical. I mean, the finishing. One positive was made something Scotland have struggled with in recent times, making a lot of chances. The chances were we weren't lacking the chances. I mean, the best chance of the game probably falls to Dykes, and I hope if he gets that chance at Wembley, he tucks it away, because he had time. He could have just found it the corner there.
I thought he could possibly have taken another touch. It's easy to say when you're watching for the side. I think he was like the whole performance, just a wee bit anxious with the effort. Their keeper, again, you look back in the game and a couple of deflections, or defender almost putting over the keeper's head.
Another edge on that. On another day, that's over the keeper's head. And
the shot from the edge of the box, it's deflecting and goes onto the roof of the net. I think from Armstrong. It's on another day, maybe they go in, but we really need to go and take something for the game and tomorrow night. And I think Scotland always get up for these games. I think the boys will be chomping at the bit. If it was me on the back of a defeat, you'd have wanted the game the next day to get out your system. And I've said before, I still think we've got some talent in that squad. I hope Tierney's back. that was a bit of a blow so soon to kick off. He's been a major player for Scotland, so having to possibly readjust at the last minute wasn't ideal prep for that one. So hopefully he's fit for Friday.
Well, I seen a tweet from Scotland national team came out on Twitter, and they've used a picture of Tierney saying we're ready for tomorrow. I hope that's a good sign.
Me too.
He will be on the park. Right then, let's look at this game. How would you approach this game against the English?
My motto was always be bold. Go and try and take the game to them. I think the quality in their team, we will have to defend really well, but try and hurt them as well at the other end. I think we've got players that are playing down there. I've talked highly of John McGinn right through from the start, and he's had a great season down at Aston Villa in the Premiership, playing against a lot of the players that he'll be up against. McTominay, huge experience at Man United. So, and Adams, who didn't start, I would expect him to start on Friday. He plays down there as well. So they've got players that've got the experience, but you can't shy away from the fact that they've got some real talent too. I really like Foden. I think if Grealish comes in, he could pose problems. You've obviously got Harry Kane. It's a difficult one, but I think if you go with a positive mindset and try and pose them problems, I think we can get something to the game.
Well, echo what you're saying there. Look, going forward, they've got a lot of bases covered. I mean, you mentioned Grealish there. He's not even taking part yet. He's a serious player. So they've got. I
actually hope he doesn't take part.
I hope he doesn't. I hope
Foden doesn't either. I really rate him.
Foden looks like a serious player as well.
Yeah.
But they're not the best in the world. Far from the best in the world at the back. They're talking about Maguire might come into this game.
Yeah.
Well, he's obviously not fully fit.
Yeah.
Adams has got pace. He showed that. I mean, it was sad that they got us with that sucker punch on Monday, the second goal, because we were on the attack. He changed the game straight away. I'd like to see McGinn, as you said. I think he was marked well on Monday, but you'd like to think he will get a bit more freedom to go forward because he's scoring all the goals for us. How do you think Scotland are going to line up for this one? Let's see Simon Donnelly is Steve Clark right now.
11.
What are you going to go with?
I think I stay with Marshall in goals. I hope Tierney comes in, so I would have Tierney. If he's playing the back three formation, I think Hanley had a decent game.
I thought Hanley played all right
Monday.
as well.
I thought he did well, so I'd keep him in. And the lad Cooper, so I wouldn't change to. I'd just bring Tierney into that back three. Robertson picks himself on the left. The right hand side for me, it's Patterson, or it's maybe not the game for James Forrest in terms of defending, but going forward, he would offer us something. He looked a threat.
Maybe bring him on the way he used him last time.
Yeah, so I'd maybe start with
impacted the game.
I'd start with Patterson. Midfield, I would play Gilmore. McTominay. Who else was in there? Monday. McGinn, obviously, how can I forget? So that would be the three in there. And that would leave Adams and another. I'm not too sure. I don't know if you would go with the two or you play an Armstrong off with a bit of pace. That's the headache that Steve Clark's got, I suppose.
And how, tactically wise, McTominay to play a holding role, and kind of would you encourage them?
I think McTominay and Gilmore would probably play more central. I like to see McGinn further forward. I think McGinn, with his strength and the way he takes the ball and the way he can roll players, I think he's a real threat in their final third, or our final third rather. I think sometimes when he plays a wee bit more deep, he's not as much a danger because he's got a terrific shot on him as well. So if we can get him round about the box, on that half turn, rolling people and getting strikes away, he's showed of recent that he's a real threat in the Scotland jersey.
And I think with Tierney coming, fingers crossed, on the right side, it gives you options because he can get up the park as well. and whip good crosses in. And I think, no disrespect to the lad O'Donnell that played on Monday, but he was very, if anything, he was very defensively mindseted, and everything was going back the way whenever it went to the right side. It'd be good to see two boys that are putting pressure on the English down the right hand side. Do you think? How do they cope with Sterling and Harry Kane?
You just need to be fully concentrated. I mean, Sterling's got pace to burn. If he's playing on that, if he's playing on that left side, it'd be a good challenge for Patterson. If he was to come in, the young kid looks as if he's got pace. He looks as if he's got no fear. You'd like to see him maybe taking Sterling the opposite way. And Kane, you just need to stay concentrated with, because the guy's a born goal scorer. He just needs a half chance and it can be in the back of your net. I watched the first game. He was coming deep quite a lot, so I would like to see him still playing further away from our goals. But you cannot switch off with somebody like him, not for 1 minute.
Well, it showed me with the two Griffiths free kicks. We were pretty much home at Hampden, and then just that was soft that day though. I mean that would really, if we were to put in a shift like we did that day and get done late on like that with a soft goal. Right, prediction. What are you predicting? I know you're going to be bold here, and I like that. I want you to be bold.
I'm going to predict 2-1 Scotland.
2-1 Scotland.
Yeah, I don't know if I say that more with my heart than my head, but I'm going 2-1 Scotland.
And who do you think is going to be our? Who are the 2 or 3 key players in that 2-1?
I think Tierney coming back in will definitely bolster the whole spirit of the team. He's a leader. I know Andy's the captain, but I'm sure Kieran's another captain in there. So I think that will really enhance the defensive side. I think McGinn, as I've mentioned before, middle to front, he's good for a goal. And if the wee guy plays, if Gilmore plays, I think it's a great stage for him to go and show what he can do. He's working with top players day in, day out at Chelsea. It will not faze him. I would love to see him go and dictate the play for us in the middle of the park.
I'm loving your prediction. Just a kind of final question, bringing us to the end. You've been part of squads, big tournaments, going into big games. I don't think you were around in Euro '96. I know you were.
No, I was there as a fan. I was just there as a fan.
But that day, I think Scotland believed they could win that day. And obviously, if the McAllister penalty goes in, it's a totally different
within. I think I was there with my dad, and we had the best of the play. Obviously, England were 1-0 up, but we really had them on the back foot. We got the penalty, and I think if we score, I know it's easy to say now, hindsight, but if we score, I think we maybe go in and win that game. Within 2 or 3 minutes of that happening, a touch of genius for Gaza, and we're 2-0 and the game's dead. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll take the spirit of that one. I was at 99 when Don Hutchison scored, and it took a great save for Dave Seaman, I think, for Christian Daly to prevent us turning the 2-0 deficit for Hampden in the first leg. So we've been able to get results here in the past. So hopefully tomorrow night's another one.
I was talking to a few older chaps last night, and they were just telling me about more about the history. We used to beat them all the time. Back you're talking kind of 70s, 80s. It was a regular occurrence. It's not been in my lifetime.
No.
So fingers are all crossed.
Everything's crossed, mate.
Everything's crossed. I'm looking forward to kick off. I've seen a couple of the interviews with a few of the players. I like the way they're talking. They know it's a big game. They know they're massive underdogs. But go and play.
It's a great game. If you're stripped for that game, my goodness. I mean, Wembley against England, our greatest rivals in a Euros. I mean, it doesn't come much better. The boys will be, I'm sure, buzzing for it, and I think the whole nation is buzzing for it. And let's go and get a result and bounce back for Monday.
Were you watching the game?
I'm actually in the town. I'm doing a little bit of work in the town. One of the restaurants in the town with Ian Durant. We're doing a kind of before game, half time, post match analysis type thing. So I think it'll be good. If we can get some sort of result, it'll be great, because the town will be jumping.
Well, London's already jumping. I've been seeing some of the footage.
I've seen
of
some of
them arriving, and they're
army coming off the trains.
They're making plenty of noise, plenty of Bakara, yes sir, I can boogie. It's been open goal, man. They're doing some great stuff over in the West End. They've been at it every single day. Listen, fingers are crossed. Hopefully your prediction comes true, mate. Mine's are crossed too. I would gladly take a 2-1 Scotland and come and give the Croatians a right doing come next week. Let's hope we're celebrating late on tomorrow evening, mate. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much. Enjoy your golf today. Keep the nerves calm, and then enjoy your work tomorrow. And hopefully we're celebrating come tomorrow night, mate.
We have a dream.
We have a dream.